Well, hello, 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 my Piscean collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Welcome to your Soulmate contract for February 2020. Though timeless, I am your reader, Mark Angela Lyons, president of Join the Circle Productions, professional witch, professional intuitive, and Pisces moon. Yay, my Mer family. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are new to my channel, please do like and subscribe. I'm a lot of fun. I'm really good at what I do, apparently. Been getting clients from all around the world. Been doing Skype and Facebook Messenger readings. So very, very happy to be doing these readings, particularly for my Pisceans. I understand you. Yes, I'm a Virgo sun, but I am a Pisces moon. So when I say I'm feeling you, you know I actually am. Let's get down to business, though, for this particular reading. Although liking and subscribing would be helpful, you know, notification bells and all of that. So close to 1,000 subscribers, but this is the last reading of this series, so let's give it the best that I can here. I really needed a break yesterday. I did the three previous videos, and then had a private client, so it was a bit of a long day. And I was like, all right, let's do Pisces. And my gut was like, absolutely not, do it tomorrow. I was like, here I am, tomorrow. Well, today. So here's the deal with this read. It's a general read. Please take what resonates, leave what doesn't. It's not a personal private read. I do those all the time. So please do check your other signs, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. If you get even 50% accuracy or resonance is a good way to say it, with any YouTube reading, that's really good. That's like a really good percentage. So any more than that is truly a blessing, and I'm glad to serve. But please just check your other signs, because it's all pieces of the same puzzle, right? Particularly because we're doing a soulmate read, right? A contract read. A soulmate is a soul contract that you make with other beings, or that are in a way made for you, and you're chosen to play the role in the body that you are currently incarnate in. Yeah, and other souls take the other roles. It's a little hard to say at the moment. So we're looking at this in sort of a legal way. We're going to be looking at the two parties in a soulmate contract. The foundation of the contract is that you help each other heal, and therefore you have more than one soulmate. Therefore your soulmates come in many shapes, sizes, and forms. In other words, your soulmate, like my mom is my soulmate, I'm her soulmate. It's symbiotic. We've been helping each other heal since before I was born, in a way, right? But these in particular are the romantic, sexual, intimate relationships, those soulmate contracts, the ones that we've been trying to get right for thousands and thousands of years, not to mention lifetimes. Cool, cool. So we are going to be looking at the two parties. One is divine feminine, one is divine masculine. It has nothing to do with bodily gender or any of that. It's just an energy dynamic. That's why I prefer to say divine yin, divine yang, but in the West, people want to say divine masculine, divine feminine. That's fine. Then I am a divine feminine, right? I'm a gay male, professional intuitive, have been my whole life, empathic as fuck. Even going food shopping gets tricky some days, so picking up on what's going on in the frozen food aisle, you know what I mean, my Pisceans. So be gentle with the masculine feminine thing. Enough cards will be on the table that you will be able to tell which one you are, but though it is a soul contract, you may have a lot in common. So again, just take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Cool, cool. Last thing I ask of you, please breathe. The more aware we are of our breath, the more in the present moment we are, the more tuned to the still point. That silent bell at the center of the heart, once it is rung, really plugs me into the divine, where these readings are coming from. If you're doing that on your end, though we are separated by time and space, we connect to the same divinity in the now. So you'll be getting the reading internally. I'll be bringing it through to you externally. Partners, let's do this. Breathe. Still point. Here we go. My collective pantheons of angels, goddesses, gods, masters, and the higher selves of all involved, mine possibly included, because I'm a Pisces moon, please. I need 2 cards from the Caroline Mace archetype deck. One for the divine feminine and one for the divine masculine. In this Piscean collective, yeah, okay, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign soulmate contract. for February 2020. Go timeless whenever they are supposed to watch it. Please, my collective pantheons. That was a full shuffle. One for the divine feminine. Here she is, face down. And one for the divine masculine here, face down. Okay. Let's look at our happy couple, keeping in mind that all archetypes are neutral, a balance of lead and gold, light and shadow. These cards give attributes of both the shadow and the light so that you know what is being healed or what you're helping each other heal in the soulmate contract, whether you've met each other or not, and the light attribute, what you're shooting for, the lead to the gold, the shadow being brought into the light. So, oh man, it's all neutral. But the divine feminine, divine child. I am a divine feminine, divine child, Pisces moon. It's like, oh man, am I in this one too? Damn it. That's why I love the break in between Libra and Pisces, because I have Venus in Libra. It's like I have this lovely stretch where I don't have any planets in any of those. So we've got the divine feminine, divine child, resonating a bit, and the divine masculine fool. Jane. But this one is a soulmate contract, so that's good. We're gonna help each other heal, whoever we are, but can't say I don't resonate with that first fucking card down. Pardon my French, but I curse like a sailor. The shadow attribute of the divine child. Everybody has the child archetype, mind you, so because we were all children. These are soul patterns, these are soul powers, these are contracts that we literally were chosen to fulfill, souls incarnating in bodies to do this alchemy within ourselves, and therefore for the quantum field, for the well-being of all. So as one heals, all healed. Keep that in mind. Shadow attribute, an inability to defend oneself against negative forces, which was absolutely true when I was a child, but that's why I was led to witchcraft. How much jewelry has this kid got on? Well, enough to turn back, and I trust that if something makes it through, not just my magical defenses and my incredibly strong fortified auric field, if it hits me, then it was meant to. It's a lesson. It's necessary. And that's a hard lesson for a child to learn, that pain and suffering is sometimes necessary, right? Betrayal, it's all part of the path of true love. We didn't come in just to feel the good stuff. We came in to have the entire range of experience from lead to gold, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and physically, lifetime after lifetime. So that's part of the hard knock life of it for the divine child. However, get the light attribute, totally worth it. Innocence, purity, and redemption suggests a special connection with the divine. Well, I do have that special connection with the divine. Innocence, really, I even think when I curse like a sailor, there's this little kid inside of me just giggling, having a field day. It comes from such a place of innocence. Purity, I'm a Virgo, but purity, it depends on what kind. Oh my God, like don't take me to karaoke. Oh my God, people singing off key. Oh, bad choreography. Right, drives me nuts. I'm a bit of a purist that way. And redemption, right? Like no matter what you've done, forgiveness is there, but you have to do the work to redeem yourself, particularly through a special connection with the divine. Totally there, totally getting it. Fuck, I think I'm in this reading. Okay. For the divine masculine, we're looking at the fool archetype, and it doesn't mean the idiot, it doesn't mean being foolish, although in the shadow that's in there. Using humor to wound rather than liberate, right? So you get the fool more in terms of the court jester, the comedian, and certainly insult comics would be there in the shadow. It is a little Bianca Del Rio, if you ask me. I love her, though. I'm intimidated by her and Carolyn Mace. I always said I was only intimidated by Carolyn Mace, who created these cards, but now I'll put Bianca. She got a mouth on her, but so do I. I don't want to engage. Bless her heart. She's made me laugh. If you don't know who Bianca Del Rio is, denial of your emotional truth, right? So it's then using humor to wound others, to deny your, oh no, everything's great. Self-depreciating humor, you know exactly the behavior I'm talking about. So the light attribute, fearlessly revealing emotion, helping people laugh at absurdity and hypocrisy. I mean, I go back to George Carlin. I was raised on George Carlin. Toledo Window Box was the name of the cassette that we used to listen to when I was little. My mother, obviously, was listening to it. I just used to crack me up, even though I didn't know exactly what he was talking about. Now I do. So that Fool archetype can be someone with a really great sense of humor, very, very jovial, but is it masking? Do you see how the Fool is holding a mask? Masking true feelings, which is the worst thing you can fucking do to an empath, right? Is mask your feelings, because we're like, well, what I'm feeling and what you're doing don't match, and we start, what's wrong with me? Am I imagining this? Like, deceivers. Now, if you are not clear yet which one you are, although I have a feeling you might, don't worry. We are going to expand on this using the Daughters of the Moon Tarot for the Divine Feminine and using the Mythic Tarot for the Divine Masculine. Oh, by the way, all the decks that I read are in the bottom of the description box. Go and have a look if you want more info on them, but on your way down, you'll see other cool links that I put in there, which is why I put the cards at the bottom, so you gotta go looking. Cool. We are going to do Fire, Earth, Air, Water, Spirit, a lovely little 5-card spread called the Element Spread, to get a little clarity about this divine feminine child, this divine feminine, divine child is, I guess, how I have to say that. Divine feminine, divine child archetype in this soulmate read. Cool. Take a nice deep breath, please. As I tune to my goddesses, the Divine Feminine Collective. Still point. My goddesses, please. Top 5 cards, element spread for this Divine Feminine, Divine Child in this Piscean Collective Sun Moon. Just one. I saw what it was. We'll see if it comes back around. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign soulmate contract for February 2020, though whenever they come across it, it is valid, timeless in that way. Please, Fire, what does she desire? Earth, what does she have to help her with that? Air, what is she thinking about it? Water, what is she feeling about it? And Spirit, what is the point of view or the voice of her soul? Please. Top 5 cards. Clean Cut, Maiden, Mother. Oh, it doesn't matter. We've already got our top cards and Crone. Yeah, sometimes the round cards, they'll catch in the hinge of my finger, and then it doesn't make that clean cut, so I really do try to do that. Let's have a look, all right? So, Divine Child, Divine Feminine, Divine Child, what do you want? The Star. Now, keep in mind, this is in terms of a soulmate contract, right? So, of course, she wants the Star. That Divine Child wants the highest, purest, clearest emotional expression of the spiritual soul vibrational contract, right? You're going to help each other heal. Has immense hope, is hoping, is wanting, is trying to follow the star, right? Trying to follow her own guidance and grace, wanting this very, very, very much, but also wanting it to be of a very high, healthy, like happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, spiritually mandated, which means, written in the divine plan, fated, destined kind of deal, right? With that card of the Star, as well as to be able to see things from that perspective with somebody, right? To share that inspiration, that guidance and grace with somebody. Well, what has she got? The element of Earth to help her get there. Ooh, second major arcana card. Honey, we got the Star as what you want, and the Chariot, the Amazon, for what you have. So your intuition's on point. It's just about acting on it now, right? It's about moving forward. It's about taking the part of you that really, really wants it, the white horse, and the one of you that's really, really ambivalent or doesn't want to or is afraid to move forward, and getting that one on board. It's like the masculine and feminine, the intellect and the emotion, right? Both sides of the brain, channeling them together to move forward. Now you'll see that she's carrying a shield, and the shield is in the shape of a crescent moon, but it's the waxing crescent, the virgin side of it. So it really is that pure moving forward. So isn't that a good move? Moving forward in that way, and with a double-headed axe, because you never know who you're going to run across running errands, right? Off with their heads. What's she thinking? Element of Air. She's thinking about loyalty. Loyalty to herself, loyalty to the divine, loyalty to the path, willing to wait. Mentally, at least, willing to wait. Willing to play if it really is. Whoops. If this is what she's really wanting, that card of the Star, even if it's step by step, breath by breath, then every step and every breath is bringing her bringing her closer. Now, what I am feeling on top of that is a certain alignment and loyalty to the divine, right? It's that divine child thing. So it's almost like going to the divine as parents, which is a level of experiencing the divine, but in pure unity consciousness, it's just all one. But I get the fourth dimensional emotional need to talk to God the Father and Goddess the Mother. But that thing of loyalty to them as well, of saying, well, but I trust you, right? By the Wiccan law, you must, in perfect love and perfect trust. Though I am not Wiccan anymore, I certainly, perfect love and perfect trust of who? The gods alone, right? Everybody else has bad days. So that thing of loyalty, something about God first, the divine first, then me in terms of priority, get my shit together, then be there for everybody else, and then get your work done, right? So that pecking order of priorities perhaps is on her mind as well, to make it all fit, that her loyalties are congruent with the truth of who she is. What's going on for her emotionally? The Leo card. Now, when a court card pops up in an element spread, because it's really about the 5 magical elements within the person I'm reading, or even the situation I'm reading, this certainly can indicate a person, but it's somebody who really embodies the 5th house Leonine qualities, not necessarily always a Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Mars, whatever, Mercury, whatever, all of them, right? All planets in Leo, that'd be somebody to cope with. But talking about 5th house, creativity, good fortune, pleasure, luck, that show, if there is somebody inspiring this for her, it is a really good feeling, and it's really warm, that fixed fire, sort of like basking in the sun as cats do like to do, but perhaps also having creative urges, which, let's be clear, creativity and creative energy and sexual energy are the same thing, usually generated in the same chakra, the 2nd chakra. Yes, it can be inspired by something in the 3rd eye, as can somebody really hot staring at you, right? Like, right, all of a sudden, boom, from the 3rd eye to the 2nd chakra in a split second, and hitting every chakra like bells on the way down. So this feels really cool and very exciting, and explains why the Chariot, the Amazon, it's going to take courage, it's going to take strength, perhaps even with innocence, with that crescent moon, not immaturity, but not naivete, but with that thing of, oh my God, I'm really feeling this, I can't believe this is happening, let's do this. I don't know, yes, I'm afraid, come on, I'm afraid, horse, but yeah, I really want this horse, let's move forward. This is cool. Point of view of the soul. Now, burnout. It is the 8 of Flames, but burnout, yes, it can be about overcommitment, saying no to something, saying yes to something when you really want to say no, saying no on the inside, like somebody asks you to do something and the solar plexus just goes, no, don't have the energy for it, would rather be nibbled by rats, but you say, sure, I'd be glad to. Foundation of codependency, just gonna say, yeah, that leads to that kind of burnout. But in the soul position, it's not saying that the soul is burned out. The soul is eternal. The soul is part of the divine. The soul is divine. This is talking about the 8 of Wands, because it's the 8 of Flames. It's the same card. Think Rider-Waite. Those 8 of Wands soaring through the air, right? Fast motion, fast passion. It's like the soul is saying, like a wildfire, get ready. Things are about to change, and quickly. From the soul's point of view, that could be a minute, a week, a month, a year, but to the personality, it does feel like ready somewhat, but has this divine feminine, divine child, which is still tricky to say, has her loyalties in order and really is feeling the creative juice. So liking that a lot. So now you probably have a really clear idea whether or not you are the divine feminine, divine child. Let's have a look and do the same with the divine masculine fool, shall we? Breathe. Still point. My gods, please, top 5 cards, element spread for this divine masculine fool archetype in this Piscean collective. Sun, Moon, Rising. Venus signed soulmate contract for February 2020 or timeless beyond whenever they need to see it. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. They're saying with that thing, fearlessly revealing emotion or denial of emotional truth is going to make a big difference in a Piscean contract, particularly if this divine feminine is the Pisces. She's going to be feeling what's going on, and if this is the Pisces, because it's going to play itself out in different relationships throughout the collective quantum field of the Piscean, all of that. Big old school of fish, big old ocean I'm looking at here. So either way, my gods, please. Top five cards for this divine masculine fool archetype. Gotcha. In this Piscean collective soulmate read. Sun, Father, Sage, thank you, my gods. Let's see who we are dealing with here. Divine masculine fool, what do you want? Oh my god, they both got the star. Fuck. Fuckity fuck. Soulmates, soulmate contract, they both want the same thing. They're both staring at the same star and making a wish upon it. I have makeup on. I am not gonna cry. Please, I got so much on today. It's Throwback Thursday here at During the Circle Productions. Yeah, I'm looking a little Gary Newman or Elaine Page from Umbrella Academy with a beard. You should follow me on Instagram. I'm funny as fuck. At least I think so. Others apparently do. They both have the star. You see, I'm actually using that fool thing to sort of divert like how intense this actually is, that they both have the star in the same position. So they both have hope. They both have inspiration. They both have guidance. They're both tuned to the same frequency, I'm going to say. But what are they going to do about it? Like, two people can absolutely be tuned to the same frequency. That doesn't mean they're both going to choose the same thing, but at least they both want the same thing. The same star is calling them together. Now, maybe they've already met. Maybe they're already together, but certainly with that, it's very possible they haven't met yet and sort of, doing that, but apart. Blew my third eye a wee bit. What's the element of earth? Let's ground this puppy. What's he got? Well, he's got the Empress. The Empress in the earth position is really saying you have everything that you need. The Earth Mother herself, Demeter, the feeder. Demeter, the feeder. She will make sure that you have what you want, but like a mother, you're going to have to explain what you want it for. I've always found that working with the goddess Demeter. She is one of the goddesses in my pantheon lifelong. And, it's like you can ask your mother for cash, but she's going to say, what is it for? Right? And if you're like, well, there are some things I want to take care of about myself around the house. I want to go food shopping. Sure, absolutely. But like, I want to go to Vegas and blow it on strippers. She's going to say no. So it is that loving, supportive, divine feminine nature that wants you to be happy, healthy, wealthy, wise in all of this, but really giving you everything you want. Come on. If the fire is the star and the earth that feeds the fire, like the match that, lights the flame, the Empress, you have everything that you need in terms of fuel to get this. You got all the fuel you need, my fool. You've got full fuel. Way too verbal for my own good. What is he thinking? What's his element of air? Okay, the Page of Wands may very well have the hornies big time for the divine feminine, divine child here. The Fool may not know how to communicate this, but is thinking about it, right? Is the Page of Wands, is that, it's like a sext, not just a text. It's an immature, the pages are messengers, but often immature, and not meaning like puerile, but immature in this, I know I have big words, but that thing of in its initial stages, immature, right? Like a seed, not a flower, but we'll get there. So perhaps some light flirtation, but with that Page of Wands, there's definitely some sex, some attraction, some fire, some desire going there. So what's going on in his field of emotion, considering the Fool archetype is talking about either fearlessly revealing it, which can be in that Page of Wands, at least he's thinking about it, or denial of emotional truth. What's going on there? Yeah, Two of Swords, not exactly sure how he feels. Of Two Minds about it, a little Gemini energy there. Not necessarily indecision, but that back and forth sort of like, well, I'm not sure. Do I feel this way or do I feel that way? The problem with that is that the mind trying to understand the heart has such a better time understanding the mind, right? Because it's the mother understanding the father in the sense of, I understand why you think that. Here's how I feel. Well, how could you feel that way, right? Back and forth, back and forth. This is really worth taking the time to investigate, but analysis of emotion doesn't necessarily give you the freedom to express what you're feeling, that fearlessness to say, I'm so attracted to you, I don't know what to do. As much as you're going to be looking, what you're going to find is like 6 reasons to do it, 6 reasons not to, right? 6 of one, half dozen of the other. And so it is like a fencing match within your own heart between the voice of love and the voice for fear, the voice of courage and the voice of cowardice, which is sort of what this Fool, really, both in its light and its shadow, is dealing with. Do I fearlessly reveal my emotions? You know, laugh, clown, laugh? Or are there tears of the clown when there's no one around? Of course, now I have the ska version bouncing in my head. What's going on at the level of spirit, right? The spirit position, the voice of the soul, 3 of Cups. Now, 3 of Cups, not the 2 of Cups, not that emotional attraction, but definitely the soul says there is a bond here. And the Daughters of the Moon, the 3 of Cups, is called the bonding deck. Now, this is the wedding of Cupid and Psyche. Sorry, Eros and Psyche. Cupid is the Roman, Eros is the Greek. I prefer the name Eros over Cupid. Cupid's always a baby with wings. This is the full-grown god, right? Son of Aphrodite and Ares. Hence the bow and arrow from his dad. This is their marriage. This is their wedding, but she wasn't allowed to see what he looked like, right? He had to disguise that he was a god. So it's sort of like they're bonded before they actually see who the other one really is, which definitely speaks of a pre-incarnational agreement, soulmate contract, a bond of some kind. But we already know this is a sexual, romantic, intimate contract because that's what the reading is for, right? So very, very, very interesting. Since the foundation of all soulmate contracts is that you help each other heal, every other card that hits the table is going to be about just that. How do they help each other heal in some way, shape, or form, whether they've met in the physical or not? Because if you're healing yourself, you're healing the other. That's the nature of a soulmate contract, not to mention the quantum hologram from the unity consciousness, 5th dimensional point of view. So just heal yourself. You're helping. Particularly if you're a Pisces into emotional healing work, like, well, the Pisces moon, right? So we're going to use the Healing with the Angels Oracle. Just 2 cards, one for her, one for him, to see what are the healing angels walking with them. Cool? Nice, deep breath, please. Still point. My angels, it felt so good, please. 2 cards, one for the Divine Feminine, Divine Child, and one for the Divine Masculine Fool. In this Piscean collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Sun, soulmate contract, happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, sexual, intimate, romantic soulmate contract for February 2020, timeless or beyond, whenever they need to see it. One for the Divine Feminine, what is the healing angel walking with her? One for the Divine Masculine, who or what is the healing angel walking with him? Oh, well, we've got the angel of harmony for her, which is really good, particularly that she's got to bring together this light and dark horse to move forward, right? Very, very, it feels like that's going to be very, very fast motion, too, with that Eight of Wands, 8 of Flames at the core there. But that harmony, though there is space between the 2 of them, oh, right. They are vibrating in sympathy with each other, right? Law of resonance. If you put 100 pendulum clocks on a wall, and start them all swinging, the pendulum swinging at different directions, at different times, eventually they will all come into sync with the strongest one. And if the strongest one is the vibration of the star, which they are both wanting, it's going to bring them into sync. So I'm going to say, whether you're the Divine Masculine or Divine Feminine, focus on what you want here. Breathe into it. Give it hope, but do not attach to outcome. You have to say, however this is going to play out, it's going to play out, particularly for the Divine Masculine, because he's got the answered prayer. The answered prayer often feels like, oh, something's going to happen that is going to answer my prayer in the physical form. And maybe that's true here, but it also says that, dude, your prayer has been heard. Your prayer has already been answered. You have everything that you need to do this. It's your indecision about what you're feeling, that back and forth, that over-analysis of it. Not quite the 8 or 9 of Swords, Rider Waite, that's way more, that's way heavier, but it's sort of like this, right, and over-analysis in the sense of, I don't want to overthink this, but I don't want to think too much about it either. It's really thinking both ways about how you feel. It's very, very tricky. Or I say if you're in love with somebody and you're questioning it, chances are you're in love with them, but you're just afraid of it, right? For all sorts of reasons, for all sorts of human reasons, but also that serves a divine purpose as well. Because you need something to heal, right? Everybody does. We're going to go a little bit deeper into that with the Love Pack by Chuck Spezzano. Half the deck is the suit of problems. The other half of the deck are 3 suits: luck, healing, and grace. So it's sort of like the problem, the solution, what each of them are bringing in with them in this contract. Cool, cool. You get what I'm saying there? Let's get the problem first. Breathe. From the Ascended Masters, Still Point. My Ascended Masters, 2 of the problem cards, please. What's the problems here? 1 for the Divine Feminine, Divine Child, 1 for the Divine Masculine. Fool archetype in this Piscean collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, soulmate contract, February 2020, or timeless, please. What's her problem that she's walking into this with? What's his problem that he's walking into this with? Now, before I flip those, let's get the remedy, so this way it's all on the table. All right, same thing, my masters. The piece of luck, the piece of healing, the piece of grace for the Divine Feminine in this contract. The piece of luck, the piece of healing, the piece of grace for the Divine Masculine in this contract. Good. We seem to make a little bit more room here. All right, here we go. What's her problem? Specialness. Now, this card has come up recently, maybe even in the Aquarian or the Capricorn. I'm pretty sure it was yesterday. The card of specialness is weird because special means separate, right? So it can really be what the mind does to separate us from other people, either by better than or less than. The trick with that is that when you make yourself or someone else better than, you make them better than, you go down on the seesaw, right? On the teeter-totter, right? You make yourself better than, you push them down, so you're feeling special and better. But the thing is, it's linked. Like, you want to talk karma. Once you play one side, you have to play the other. So with what I see going on here, there might be this thing of really waiting for someone special, where what you're really looking for is someone who is holy. That's Course in Miracles. Special means separate. Holy means of the whole, the W-H-O-L-E. That's why I wish it was spelled W-H-O-L-Y, so people would get, oh, it's holy, right? The holy relationship rather than the special relationship. That's very Course in Miracles. Not going into that here and now. But that is something that perhaps she has been dragging with her, either feeling better than, less than. This is the Pisces. We get both opposite ends, right, at once, sometimes very tricky. But certainly that's something that she has carried with her for a while. I'm feeling that. What's his problem? He's got the problem card in the problem suit. So whatever his problem is, well, and really for both of them, they're going to help each other heal this. They're going to help each other heal this specialness and whatever this problem is, because it's not a problem, it's destiny revealing itself, and that's from the Matt Kahn mantra deck. We'll see if that card comes up. Just remember I said it probably won't, but let's see. All right. So what's the solution then? What is the healing, the luck, or the grace for the Divine Feminine Well, that's okay. He's got the problem card from the problem suit. She's got the grace card in the grace suit. So whatever this is about, yeah, the ability to give the special relationship, this is Course in Miracles, to give the special relationship to the Holy Spirit for its purposes turns it into the holy relationship. Now, really, the Holy Spirit is the higher self collective, right? Higher self, HS, Holy Spirit, HS, right? It's the whole, right? So what are the purposes of the Holy Spirit, of the higher self? Is that the soul learns, heals, grows, evolves, becomes the best that it can be, and brings more love to the planet. And that's what soulmate contracts are for. It's not just about getting your yayas, right? It's not just about having a good time. Great, amazing, tantric, earth levels, shattering sex. Well, earth healing sex. But you know what I mean? It's for the transformation of the planet, too, through the quantum. But the amount of work necessary, it's like working in the coal mine, going downtown. How did I get two of those? Yeah, his issue, trust. His issue is trust. So, in terms of the problem, that's really where... Oh, and that totally makes sense with the Two of Swords there, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth in the emotional field. So, look, it's he's got the healing card. So she's got grace, he's got healing. Whatever this problem is, it was, and let's be clear, this specialness and this problem were in place before they met, right? So you could say that's sort of the problem baggage that they are carrying with them, and here's how they can help each other heal with grace. Now, what is grace? Wrote a whole book on it called Words of Grace from a Professional Witch. It's an ebook. You can get it on my website. The link is in the description box below. But I highly recommend you check out the work of Carolyn Myss, particularly Entering the Castle. That's the one that tuned me into grace, and then Defy Gravity. It's either Defying Gravity or Defying Gravity with the Shadows and the Graces. It's just brilliant, brilliant, brilliant work. I adore Carolyn Myss. So yeah, grace transformed my life, but fucking took me down to dust as it did. Necessary, like a tower card, over years. But worth every step, because here I am on the other side. Cool, cool. Really liking these two. Yes, of course he's got trust issues. Who the fuck doesn't on the romantic path of true love? Because the romance is part of the path of true love. Mind you, go watch your Path of True Love reading on my channel too. You might find some hints, tips, and tricks about this as well. Like I said, we have got a couple of more cards to look at. We're going to get two from the higher selves of both involved for the well-being of all through the Whispers of Love Oracle. I love this deck. Nice deep breath, please. Still point. My higher selves. The higher selves of all involved, mine included. I felt that. I know you're here. Well, you're always here. Please, two cards, one for the Divine Feminine. Can't believe I got the Grace card. Two cards, one for the Divine Feminine, one for the Divine Masculine. In this Piscean collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, soulmate contract for February 2020 or timeless, please. For the Divine Feminine, Divine Child archetype, a message from her higher self, a whisper of love. You have spinach in your teeth. That's what mine says to me, hopefully. One for the Divine Masculine, please. The Divine Masculine Fool, higher self, his higher self, the higher selves of all involved. Let's see. Now, what I love about these cards is sometimes they just say, well, you just get the fuck over it. Not in that way, though. I love this deck. What has she got? Be authentic to who you are. Be authentic to who you are. You are asked to be real and true pertaining to who you are and how you feel. Yeah, honey, no obfuscation over here. This is balls to the wall. Maybe not necessarily mean about it, but that authenticity, right? Be authentic to who you are. Be authentic to who you are. You are asked to be real and true pertaining to who you are and how you feel. Because my name is Roxy Andrews, and I'm here to make it clear. I know you love me, baby. That's why you brought me here. I do love a good RuPaul's Drag Race reference every now and again in a reading. I don't do it every time because that's annoying. And what has he got? Look at your pattern in relationships. Yeah, the trust issues make sense. It requires inner strength to reconcile that you need to change or modify your behavior. That's hysterically funny. Because his hope is there and he has everything he needs to do it. We'll take a deeper look at that in the overview. I could spend an hour, another hour just playing with this, but I'm not gonna because we only have one card left and I've got to get to the new moon reads, which are going to be different than I've ever done them before. I downloaded from the Divine this morning what we're doing with those. Those will be fun. We're going to be doing the element spread as a foundation. It won't be like half hour. Hoping it's quick. Let's go. Nice deep breath. For the Matt Kahn Healing Mantra deck, please, my Ascended Masters. Still point. This is such a high vibe reading. Please, please, one card. We only need one card. The perfect healing mantra for this Piscean collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, soulmate contract, February 2020, or timeless. Please, 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 please. What is the perfect mantra for the soulmate couple? I really like them, and if I'm the Divine Feminine here, which makes a lot of sense, I would give the Divine Masculine a chance if he's willing to, look at his pattern in relationships and trust and deal with the problem. I'm the answer to his prayer. That's the voice of the Divine Feminine. So please, no kidding, no fooling around. What is the perfect healing mantra? There it is for this soulmate contract for my Pisceans possibly involved. Now, I haven't looked at it yet. One side of the card is the mantra itself in English. The other is the name of the mantra, so I can look it up in Ye Old Bookie Book by Matt Kahn. It's not a lot, but totally worth it. Let's see. Who do we got? Dispelling sadness. Dispelling sadness. I will feel better once I get the rest I need. Okay. Putting that in context, these two may not have met each other yet. That really reflexes over to that burnout card. Like I said, very, very fast motion, but could also be overcommitment. But with the amount of, oh my God, just looking at all of the cards on the table now, let's do the overview. It'll be much easier that way. But that dispelling sadness does make sense. Please, here we go. Magic clap. Okay, we're starting off with the Divine Child here, with the Divine Feminine. Her shadow attribute being an inability to defend herself against negative forces. And that can certainly be when you are empathic Divine Feminine. That totally clicks. The light attribute, innocence, purity, and redemption, suggests a special connection to the divine, like a parental connection to the divine, though, there are higher levels than that, but that certainly speaks to the innocence of the inner child, the innocence of the heart chakra, etc. And looking at what she wants, her element of fire, that makes sense. A very innocent, wishing on a star, very much wanting the highest and best manifestation of a soulmate contract, willing to help heal, wanting to help heal, but really wanting it to be something of a higher nature, a higher vibration, better than she's had it before. And with that card of the Amazon, the chariot in her position of earth, she absolutely has everything that she needs to bring herself forward in the direction, though she will have to kind of bring the dark horse and the light horse together. Because with that card of specialness, particularly right next to it, she might have been through this before in a way where she played one or the other, possibly both, better than or less than, which can lead to abuse and neglect, either way you slice that. Moving into what she's thinking, obviously with the Three of Flames there, the card itself with the word loyalty on it is going to say that she has dealt with some disloyalty. So she might have some trust issues just like the Divine Masculine does. But really she's focusing with that angel of harmony there in the center about her own harmony, about being loyal to herself, loyal to the divine. There is just something a little more mystical, spiritual, because it's the Divine Child here that we're talking about. Because even in the emotional field, we have that element of fire, of creativity, that thing of wanting to co-create, but wanting to co-create, not wanting to do this alone, willing to give what she's got to give, but still might be in that process of figuring out the difference between a special relationship and a holy relationship, which is the difference between getting what you want or being part of a divine co-creation as part of the divine plan. But what's going on in her soul? That 8 of flames. Now, like I said, that can mean burnout. That's the word written on the card. But from a soul perspective, point of view of the soul, to say you're burned out, then I don't get why the Star and the Chariot and, you know, the cards that are here. So then it really does more feel like the soul saying, honey, from our perspective, though, you might feel like nothing is going on, things are moving very, very quickly, keeping in mind that, you know, her specialness, she might be envisioning something that's very, very special to her, but how often is what we're trying to create and manifest, does it show up exactly the way we saw it? Slim to none, probably never, but that she's walking with grace, that she's bringing immense grace, and grace comes through rehearsal. Now, I'm making a ballet reference there, how beautiful ballerinas are. I mean, I grew up with ballet in my life. My mom was a high appreciator. I took ballet classes for a good chunk of my life. It's why I can get away with a lot of what I can physically in terms of yoga, is because of my ballet and dance training. But it took a lot of rehearsal to do that. So a lot of spiritual practice here has really made her a channel of grace, that everything is right in the hands of the divine with this one. But for her to really be authentic to who she is, she's being asked to be real and true pertaining to who she is and how she feels. Interesting, reflexing over to the divine masculine Fool here, the shadow attribute, him using his humor to wound rather than liberate, right? And we look at the liberate part in the light aspect for sure. Denial of his emotional truth, the light attribute fearlessly revealing emotion, helping people laugh at absurdity and hypocrisy, which means he's not afraid of looking or appearing foolish if he is truly being authentic, and that absolutely liberates people, not to mention himself. And we're looking here at the card of the Star as well he has in the fire position. Very, very strong hope, very, very strong desire that things work out well, that he really gets this higher expression, that there is evolution, that there is some connection here that just goes beyond the sexual or the mental or the emotional individually, but really all of them put together. And with the card of Empress, I would even say turn to your mother, divine masculine Fool, because there's a strong maternal energy there. And if not your biological mother, then to the mother goddess, particularly in the earth aspect. But even if there are women in your life who are a bit more earth mothery, they might have some support, some guidance, some grace, some wisdom to give you there. Because in your mind, you've got the Page of Wands. This divine feminine is on your mind, right? You want to communicate, but your approach must be honorable. I'm telling you that with what she's got going on here, that she's being authentic. So you can be cute, you could be funny, you can be the fool and bring some lightness to it. But if you are being derisive with your humor and you are therefore denying your emotional truth about it, it's going to stall this and slow this. And I can see with that Two of Swords in the water position, that's sort of the analysis you're going back and forth about, like a fencer in your own heart, right? Dodge, parry, right? You know, that thrust. I'm totally having a Bugs Bunny Daffy Duck moment. I'll be back. I'm back. 3 of Cups in the position of the soul really says this is a very strong soul bond between the two of you. Sure, you can try and escape it, but I really feel like you two want to be together. So yeah, there is a problem here. Houston, divine Fool, you got a problem. The pieces aren't fitting together for you within your own emotional chemistry here. It doesn't mean you're not feeling what you're feeling, but there is really a wound in place here that has really nothing to do with this divine feminine, except she's here to help you heal it. Now, whether you heal it and you remain together as lovers forever and ever, wonderful, but it might just be for a reason or a season, not just a lifetime. And of course, that's going to trigger the trust issue here, but with that healing card of the trust, because it is a healing suit card, that he really can trust in something higher. Remember, he's got the angel of answered prayer, though. So if he can trust that somehow this is an answer to my prayer, I have to take the journey, then his prayer will be answered. But the higher self is saying, Divine Masculine Fool, look at your pattern in relationships. It requires inner strength to recognize that you need to change or modify your behavior. And so then what do they both need here? It doesn't matter which one, using this mantra of dispelling sadness. I will feel better once I get the rest I need. And I'm going to read that for you now. I usually do that before I do the magic clap, but now taking all this in, when sadness dissolves, you are able to acknowledge upheavals of emotion as profound healings taking place. As a result, you are inspired to give your body the rest and rejuvenation it needs, rather than to push yourself into states of imbalance. As you dissolve sadness, you become aware of the vital role downtime plays in helping you recharge your energy field. This mantra is ideal for dealing with depression, which very well might be the case on both sides here, fighting against time and learning how to relax, right? I will feel better once I get the rest I need. Well, my family of fishies, my school of fishy mer people, what a very cool, intense reading. Look, I can certainly say that you both have the star in the fire position and both have major arcana cards in the earth position. She's got the warrior, the Amazon, the chariot. He's got the Empress. So it's very interesting, a very masculine energy in the feminine's earth and a very feminine energy in the masculine's earth. I really feel like if you two have met and separated, you don't do it during retrograde, Mercury retrograde, but there really is an opportunity for healing there. You just need to rest. You both need to be apart right now to take care of yourselves, to heal what needs to be healed. This idea of specialness for her, this idea of the problem there for him. Otherwise, with the angel of harmony for her and the answered prayer for him, this is sort of a done deal, already sort of written in the quantum. Whether or not you're together forever and ever and ever, I don't know, check back next month. But definitely do the healing here. So let me give you the blessing. May this Piscean collective, because this could be me, may this Piscean collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, signed soulmate contract be blessed with all that it needs to heal, to grow, to learn, to manifest in a happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, sexual, intimate, romantic partnership way for the well-being, not just of these two, but for the well-being of all of life, for all concerned, that it may be a blessing upon this world, bringing liberation, transformation, and, oh my goodness gracious, the love, the healing, the freedom, the harmony that this world is so in need of for the well-being of all. So mote it be. And so it is. Thank you for watching, my mer people, my fishies. Wishing you the very best and the very blessed in your soulmate contracts for February 2020 and beyond. But for now, hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed be.